Hello, and welcome to Recent Activity, your new favorite entertainment review podcast that attempts to cover every film, every show, all at once. I am your co-host, Andrew Morgan. With me, as always, the personal trainer for Rada the Hutt. It's Shane Beauregard. How are you, sir?
You know what? I'll take that. Because as far as Hutts go, Rada's pretty chiseled.
Swole. I don't know how many ab muscles you can get on a Hutt, but I believe he has all of them.
I believe so.
That fucking lizard looked like corn on the cob, dude. Like, it was like long, lean, and way more abs than we're used to seeing. Just a bunch of like rectangles where flabby stomach should be.
And my job is done.
Yes, exactly. Congratulations. You'll be Galactic Trainer of the Year any day now. But good to see you, sir. We have a lot to talk about. This is straight up nerd corner for us this week. It's going to be a big rundown of The Mandalorian and Grogu, The Boys series finale and season 5 finale, Blood and Bone. We will talk about that as well. Also in The Boys universe, we will talk about the trailer release for Vought Rising, which was released right after The Boys series finale. And we will check in with the newly released today, because we're recording this on Wednesday, the 27th. Spider-Noir with Nicolas Cage is on Prime. They dropped the whole season. Didn't realize they were doing that, but we watched a couple episodes, so we're going to check in on that as well. But Shane, let's kick this whole thing off. Let me give you just a general thought that I had. And I want to see if you're in like this kind of mind space where I'm going to take you back to October of 2020.
Ooh, okay.
Where we've been in lockdown for a while. But we're seeing some things. There are some things that kind of keep us afloat while we're in lockdown. The movies are just starting to open up, but we've been buoyed by Mando season 2, The Boys season 2, and the newly released Borat 2, all in October of 2020. And those three universes, we were very positive about at the time. Because even if you think Borat 2 is a letdown compared to the immortal first Borat, you're kind of like, man, this is still very funny. And especially for us being at home this whole time, this is exactly what I want. It's amazing. Now flash forward to May 2026. There's a movie for Mandalorian and Grogu that a lot of people are not entirely excited for after a lackluster season 3 that occurred. We have The Boys final season 5. And we have a new Sacha Baron Cohen movie on Netflix that most people probably don't even know exists. And his stock is quite further south than Borat 2 times, even, let alone the first Borat. I don't like it. I don't like this feeling, Shane. I don't like how 6 years have gone by and so many things have kind of just fallen, or at least or are ending, and makes us feel bummed out. So that's the kind of tone I'm going with to introduce The Mandalorian and Grogu, which I saw over the Memorial Day holiday here. It's directed by Jon Favreau. This stars Pedro Pascal, Sigourney Weaver as Colonel Ward, Jeremy Allen White as the voice of Rada the Hutt, which I couldn't even pick out of a lineup if you asked me. I kept going, which one's Jeremy Allen White? And I had to look. So that's not good. Pay him a bunch of money for a voice that I couldn't even pick out. Paul Sung-hyun Lee as Commander Carson Teva, he was also in the show and Book of Boba Fett. So kind of an OG guy that I wanted to toss in there. The plot here is the evil empire has fallen and Imperial warlords remain scattered throughout the galaxy as the fledgling new Republic works to protect everything the rebellion fought for. They have enlisted the help of legendary Mandalorian bounty hunter Din Djarin and his young apprentice Grogu. Much like that description, this movie does not truly have a plot. This movie is a movie bold enough to remember how we all hated walking Jabba the Hutt in the special editions and was like, what if we made a movie with 3 of them? And then also let them speak English on the regular, which we're also not accustomed to. So I just kept thinking, Sham, like, why didn't they just make another season of Mando? Why is this movie exist? And how much is it different than other TV show movies? Because I would say that most TV show movies that I've seen, or at least the successful ones, generally explain what happened to its famous characters either after or before the show started to kind of deepen the relationship with to them with us. I'm thinking Peaky Blinders as a new example. You have El Camino, the Breaking Bad movie, The Many Saints of Newark, the Sopranos movie. I'm sure there's others people will point to, whether it's X-Files or, even the Simpsons movie or whatever. Like, go all those directions. I'm watching this movie and I'm just like, this is just an episode of The Mandalorian, and it's not even a good one, really, or at least like a top-notch one compared to the others. And I don't know if I've fully wrapped my arms around why this exists outside of, oh, right, it made $100 million in 4 days.
It did, and it exists to sell Baby Grogu merchandise. That's all I could figure out.
I guess, but did you learn any more about Grogu or anybody else?
Like you said, the plot is paper thin at best. Let's just be real. Like, he's given a card to track down some unknown person, and he has to go to the huts to whatever. I don't make a deal, right, for information. It felt like a singular extended bloated episode of The Mandalorian. It has really no ties to anything else. I forgot where they left off on the last season, so I couldn't even tell you.
Sure.
I just, what was this runtime? A little over 2 hours, and it was just,
dude, no, it was
2 hours, 14 minutes, something like that.
Yeah, 220 almost. Yeah.
It was cool to see long. Mando on screen, but the fact that this just felt like an isolated story with no ties to anything, it didn't further anything. It honestly, it doesn't have to like be this big connective tissue thing for other projects.
Right.
But it would have been nice to throw some Easter eggs in there, something just more of a plot, I guess. Like you said, Jeremy Allen White, I couldn't tell that voice. Like, I didn't know that was him until after the movie.
No.
The only voice I heard was Martin Scorsese's voice. That was it. That was it.
Yeah.
Other than that, like the Mando action scene, it's cool. Very cool.
Sure.
Where it lost.
Good gun battle, whatever.
Yeah.
Fine.
Where it lost me was the Grogu stuff in the middle where Mando's down and out for a while and he has to like scavenge stuff and keep him safe. And that whole part, I was about to go to sleep. I'm like, can we just further this along?
Yeah.
I wanted to see more of him and the other bounty hunter. And sorry, Star Wars fans, I don't know his name, but I know he was in, I think he was in Mando, one of the seasons, or Bubba Fett. The guy with the hat.
He? No, I know. I thought he was from the cartoons. Like he was from.
I know he's from. I know he's from the cartoons, but I know Timothy Olyphant had a scene with him, and I can't remember what show Timothy Olyphant was in.
Okay, well then, yeah. That all right. Yeah.
So anyway, I wanted to see more of that. I wanted to see more of like where's Grogu going. Like I just want to know more about these characters.
The lore about him.
Yeah, the lore.
There's a whole mystery behind all these people, and we got none of it.
We got nothing. We don't know where it goes from here. It's like they're just going to take there's no growth in these characters at all. There's no, hey, where have they been? What have they been doing? What are they like? So to me, there really was no point in this movie except for to maybe satisfy the Star Wars and Mando fans out there, but to me it was a big disappointment. It was entertaining, yes, but it didn't further anything in that universe, right? It was entertaining parts. If this movie
I felt like there was a lot of meandering for its runtime. Like that, it either should have been a way tighter, way more focused hour and a half.
You stole the words out of my mouth. An hour and a half.
Or it should have been longer but had more world building and lore building and justify all the existence, and it was neither.
Correct.
So that's where I kind of lose.
If this had a tighter runtime of an hour and a half with more action, less Grogu in the middle, I would have been okay. I would have been more okay with it. I'm like, okay, this is a good little action flick.
Yeah.
This little side mission action flick. But man, I came away thinking it wasn't terrible, but it's not what I thought it was going to be. I didn't realize the plot was going to be so paper thin. Like to
Yeah.
me, there's really no point in the like. What is the rebellion doing now? Like, what's Sigourney? Like the whole thing is like I didn't care.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't care. I like the Mando character though. Like I think he's cool. I love Pedro Pascal, but it's like show me,
Yeah, but what's the path forward with it
yeah,
though?
or show me some more depth in that character. Like I don't know. I was disappointed in just the writing for this movie.
I felt like it was such a retread. Like you had this moment where, the Hutts have the Mandalorian pinned down and they remove his helmet and it's like, we've done this.
Yeah,
Like we've done he's exposed, he's gone through this before. So he barely even seemed phased. It's like not a big deal. Like, oh, we've shamed you amongst your people and whatever. It's like, no, he knows exactly what he is by this point. Like none of that is new territory at all. I felt like every time Rada the Hutt was doing some kind of monologue, it was the same one over and over where he's like, I'm just in the shadow of my dad. These people see me for where like at any point is I need to talk to someone who's even deeper into Star Wars than even I am, where I've watched a lot of this stuff, but people who read books and comics of it and everything else, maybe something a little deeper to where you can tell me, oh yeah, Rada was in this book in the novelization of Return of the Jedi, we know that Jabba the Hutt had a child. Cause I'm like, wouldn't he have been in Jabba's palace in Return of the Jedi? And wouldn't like there be some kind of animosity for like, his dad got fucking murdered, like it just bothered me. It just
yeah,
bothered me a lot. The way they've used the Hutts, even in Book of Boba Fett and all these are like, stop. It just doesn't work. It doesn't have the same appeal because it doesn't look and feel the same anymore. And that was part of it too. I felt like this was so CGI or TV heavy looking that I didn't feel the cinematic nature of it unless it was a gun battle
right.
and they shot it in a particular way. Otherwise, the worlds are all just straight up green screen.
Yeah,
Like it's not even trying to do anything that feels tactile at all anymore. And I think that's what's bothered me the most over the years about Star Wars stuff is that they stopped making it like this exotic locale world bit. Like you don't need to go crazy. George Lucas just shot in the fucking like Tunisian desert or whatever for like, all of the Tatooine stuff and it looks better because of it because you could feel it. Doesn't happen anymore. And I don't know if I'm ever going to think about this franchise the same way. And I don't think that this particular movie broke it for me. Because again, what should I have expected from a TV movie? But the fact that we haven't got anything since 2019 for a
yeah,
Star Wars movie and everything that's been rumored or whatever has been kind of kicked to the wayside outside of the Sean Levy, Ryan Gosling movie we're going to get in a couple years, maybe. So if this is all we got, this is where I take the moment to make a stand or bitch about it. But I don't know. And it's also a movie, Shane. Did you feel like, even though I took my kids to this movie and they wanted to see this movie, but before I saw the movie, people were telling me like it's way more violent than it should be for the age level of certain kids who want to see, Baby Yoda / Grogu on screen, but it's also not aimed at them either. It's kind of this weird in between because The Mandalorian started out where it was like, this isn't set for kids at all. And then it slowly kind of turned into like, well, it's kind of like watching Star Trek episode of the week, monster of the week, whatever, a little bit.
yeah. I didn't see it in my kids, obviously, but I would say it does straddle that line. But I always think with like Star Wars violence, gunfights, because it's like lasers and all that stuff. I'm like, like,
Yeah, there's not gore,
yeah,
so
it's
you
not
can kind
gore or
of play that
anything. Yeah, you
off.
can kind of play that off.
But
But I want to piggyback and go back to what you said about Rada's dialogue. It's like how many ways are you going to give him to tell the same speech over and over? It's
Mhm.
like we're going to write this 10 different ways for you to say, you got a good one there, kid. Take care of him. I think he said that
Yep.
like 5 times. I'm
Yep.
like, we get it. We get it, dude. And like you
Yeah.
said, I'm done with the Huts. And And for me, you know me. Sorry, people. I've never been like a big Star Wars guy. I
Sure.
take it for what it is. So I'm not like really butthurt over some of these misfires from the Star Wars universe. And I'm sorry for those
Yeah.
people who are like into it. Cause again, we haven't really got anything good in a long time. Uh,
Well,
from
this is why I brought up the October 2020 thing, because I think that was the last time I felt hope.
yeah, yeah. And now they're just killing and strangling our hope. So
Yeah.
I think it's almost
Because we haven't
dead.
liked any of the shows really beyond that, and we didn't like Mando season 3.
And it's funny,
and they
the
took
one
a long time to even get us that.
and the one show that we probably should have watched that a lot of people love
Was Andor.
and we just
Yeah.
we just can't get ourselves to get there. You know what I mean?
I know.
So it's a shame.
Thanks for bringing that up.
I
I
know.
did need to eat some humble pie in my grandstanding, so I appreciate that. But you're right. You're right. So Andor is the only saving grace, and even that like kind of struggled to find its audience at first and had a lot of episodes, and it doesn't feel like it's something from this current regime of, Filoni and Favreau and all this stuff. Like, this is the last, I think, Kathleen Kennedy movie. I don't know if she officially was producing on Starfighter or whatever the Ryan Gosling, Sean Levy project is. But, I'm hoping that there's going to be a better new era. But if the new era starts with, Ahsoka or whatever, and then this and the last season of Mando, whatever, if that's still part of now what Filoni's doing, I feel like it's the same old shit. And that's why I need something to shake me out of this. And whether that just means I finally get my ass to watching Andor, the problem is that show is over after 2 seasons. Or the Ryan Gosling movie has to be good to like get me back. But I don't know. I just want to see a vision, because they keep bringing things up like a Rey movie or all these other things. I don't think anyone wants those things, or at least not enough across the board for it. And I really don't see how they could do stuff outside of an Andor where it's like, oh, we took a character that you know some about and we fill in something with an excellent screenwriter to make something worthy of getting back in. But yeah, Star Wars is a cinematic product to me, and the fact that we haven't had anything for 7 years and this is the best we can do is a really real big bummer to me.
Yeah. And I don't blame you. I feel for you. I really do. And I'm not saying that, sarcastically. I do, because I want them to be good too. I want to be entertained just like you. And it's like they're just going through the motions, it seems like.
Yeah. Because I would never tell any person at any point in my life, like, oh, I'd be more excited for a Star Trek movie than a Star Wars movie. But I think the last years, like, I enjoyed the Chris Pine movies, and I would relish them to have another Star Trek movie. I would watch it. So I don't know, because I even liked Beyond or whatever.
Yeah, I did too.
So yeah, this is killing me. So I'm here to burn my Jedi Master hat that I just got for my children on on my birthday. So, but I figure if any time I'm going to wear it, now is the time. So bid farewell to Jedi Master hat. Let's follow this up.
Wait, hold on real quick.
What we're rating?
Yeah. What'd you rate it, buddy?
I've been fighting this, because I think if I had to describe the movie to someone, I would say it is the meh-est of meh, which just immediately points me right in the middle. Like, it didn't offend me a lot. There are things that maybe bothered me more later than actively when I was watching it. So when I left the theater, I probably said it is the weakest of 3s I would ever give, or it's a 2.5. And that's where I'm kind of falling. But so I don't know what I want to do. Do I want to make a statement by saying it's a 2.5, or do I just go, it's a 3, it's fine, and move on with my life?
Go ahead and make a statement.
No, I want to hear you first. I'm kind of curious.
I gave it a 3.
Okay.
And call it weak or strong. It's a weaker 3, but I gave it a 3.
Yeah. I think it has more than that on Letterboxd, and that also makes me want to dig my heels in to go, no, it's not a 3.2. It shouldn't be.
Right.
But it is on there currently. I'm like, no. People should not be giving this any more thought than a 3. So, yeah, that's where I stand with that. Call me wishy-washy. I will say 2.75 to your face right now. I don't care. It's my podcast, damn it. It's my thoughts. Yeah.
Fair enough.
But let's move on to the boys.
All right.
Sir, there's a few things going on here. To set the table, I do want to say that between you and I, when we watched the penultimate episode to this series, we went, uh-oh. Because we looked ahead, saw the runtime was only a little over an hour, standard length, and yet we were like, there's not a whole lot of momentum, and there's still a lot of things they need to answer. How the hell are they going to cram this into a little over 1 hour, not only season finale, but series finale, where you know that they have to kind of do a lot of what series ending episodes do, where they're like, oh, we need to give this person their shine. This person needs to confront this person, and this person needs to probably kill this person, blah, blah, blah. So if you know that going in and you're like, oh man, they're only going to wrap this up in an hour, it's like, this might be a little bit of a letdown. And I will say that I think the episode is fine, but it was not some overwhelming thing. It was not emotional for someone who's watched all 5 seasons, episodes the day they come out, et cetera, that kind of fervor. I don't feel it lived up to anything of that. And in fact, you can kind of just go, we knew everything they were going to do. And I still don't think it was enough because of following the Homelander arc. I feel like there are other season finales, let alone the series finale, that were way better showdowns and way better things than what we got here, especially because if you're transplanting Soldier Boy for Kimiko to do the same thing that they did, in season 3?
Yep.
Like, it kind of felt like we've been here before. And then to have other things where we've seen Homelander go way more berserk on people. I felt like when they fought in the White House, it was a little more tame than what his abilities are. So there's a lot of things that kind of just nitpicked at me. The whole fact that, Starlight didn't know the Deep was in trouble with his ocean homies, and yet she takes him way far away, all the way to the ocean side to have a conversation and then an ultimate fight. That didn't make sense after the fact. But again, as you're watching it, it's like you're not actively mad at it, but the more it gnaws at you, it kind of goes, this didn't feel as thought out as I hoped for something that ended this way. What'd you feel about it?
Okay, so last episode, like you said, a lot to unpack, or them try to tie all the knots. It wasn't perfect, but it wasn't the worst, because you know how hard it is to end a series. You either land the plane or you crash it. I felt like this was in between. I do feel like it was rushed. I felt like they just wrapped things up in a hurry, especially the last battle scene. Like you said, you had the Herogasm fight scene. You had the season 3 finale fight scene was a lot better. The Queen Maeve and Starlight against the German chick. I thought that was a better
Stormfront.
Stormfront. I thought that was a better fight scene. So I felt like they did rush the ending, and then swapping out the Soldier Boy for Kimiko. Yeah, like you said, why? We've seen this before. We've done it, but I think for her story arc or whatever they want to do with her and the I almost said French Connection. I did say French Connection.
Well,
Frenchy
I'll
connection.
allow it.
Yeah.
It's there. Yeah, they know.
I guess that was a better way to wrap up her story arc with Frenchie's story arc. I don't know, but I wasn't mad at the episode. To me, it was solid. I thought the most laughable thing, we'll get back into some of the nitpicky things I had as far as with some of the characters, the Deep, right? Like you said, Starlight had no idea, so that was pretty convenient for her to crash him at the beach. That being said, when he's floating in the water, did I forget something? Can't he swim like fucking Aquaman? Someone said he's trying
to. That's 100%.
He's trying to swim away like me or you. And
it's
this
pathetic.
And the sound. I'm like, what are you, Greg Louganis? Or are you can you? I thought he could swim at supersonic speed.
Well, it's the same way with Homelander, where he can fly and move incredibly fast. Like he caught up to
A-Train.
Oh my God, A-Train when they had his death, and you see him in the White House, and he's getting slowed down enough that they can kind of catch him with
Well,
like the tentacles coming out of Carl Urban and all
yeah,
these other
well,
things. So yeah,
earlier in that episode, he flew that dude up to space and came back in like 2
right,
seconds.
right,
Yeah,
yeah. So a lot of the logistics, you could poke a lot of holes.
right. But that being said, I took it for what it was. I was entertained for the most part. It wasn't perfect. I understood the UE thing with Carl Urban at the end, with Butcher at the end. I
I
like,
took that. That was probably the best stuff. Like this was the stuff you
yeah,
wanted, I
yeah,
guess.
that was the stuff I wanted. I like how Ryan's loop closed, how, everyone kind of thought he would show. I do like how he stood up to Homelander in the cabin and gave him
Yeah,
that speech, and how he showed up at the very end to kind of help out. I really did like that. I like how they closed that up.
but
I
they
let
just pushed him to the side
They
for
did.
so many
'Cause they
episodes. It
did.
felt like it had no momentum.
They did.
Yeah.
I like Sister Sage piecing out and just going where she left. She was like, "Yeah, I'm out of here." I thought
I
that was
guess. I mean, she
funny.
had it in her brain the whole
Yeah,
time to do it,
when she
but
got dumb
yeah,
again, I was just laughing. I was like, "All right,
yeah.
that's." And plus, she didn't add anything to the show at that point, so she was kind of useless. So for her to go read books
Which is
somewhere,
terrible because she was this ultimate chess
I
master, this
know.
ultimate weapon, and then it kind of just became. What is she? Is she still puppet mastering? What do we know
I
here?
thought Ryan ending up with Mother's Milk was interesting. I'm like, didn't see that them being that close, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't want to go with Butcher
Right.
at one point anyway. His mother's gone. His dad's a homicidal, you know, god-like figure or whatever. It's like, where's he gonna go? So they're like, yeah, you just go here.
I did like Ashley saying, "I'm not going to step down." And like she's impeached like 2 minutes later. I thought that was funny. But
Yeah,
yeah, so I had its moments, and for the wrap up a series going on for 7 years now, I thought they did an okay job, to be honest with you.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I will say that if you take the season as a whole, I'd complain a lot less because there were episodes where you and I were like, hell yeah, like that kind of wrap up snapshot episode where they kind of did character to character. We were like, oh my God, that's one of my favorite
Yep.
episodes of The Boys ever. I thought it started out really well. We talked about that with the prison escape and a lot of those things. And it kind of narrowed the focus on what was going to happen. A lot of the side characters they introduced worked out well. So I think overall, I'm not mad at the season per se, but I think the ending, because of how it got rushed, pushed a lot of things to the side to make it makes less sense. But before we get to where the boys universe is going, I do want to kind of tie this together a little bit because you and I were fans of Gen V. And I think one of the biggest things that really truly doesn't make any sense is how they utilize the Gen V characters,
Mm.
especially Monroe, to be like, she's the possible, next thing and equivalent to, Homelander and can do all this. Utilized 0%. You use them to be people who could get people to safety. What the fuck is that? You have superheroes with genuine power who have taken on Homelander before, and you do nothing with them. And instead, you use Kimiko to have the same power as another character magically by like trying to recreate how Soldier Boy was created. It felt very rushed and
Yeah.
tossed together instead of something that you could have cultivated from show to show. But I wonder if they have the stats of like maybe people didn't watch Gen V enough to make that work or whatever. But if they started the season that way where they're helping them maybe break out of the prison and everything else, or don't you use them at all, those two things seem smarter or more useful than what we got.
I think it was better not to use them at all. And we'll never know what happened behind the scenes with the Gen V writing and like why they were starting to be utilized in the Gen V series to solve their connection with A Train and Starlight and how that just kind of went
Yeah.
nowhere. I don't think
Yeah.
we'll ever know the correct answer. So I wish I
No.
could say, yes, I wish they were involved in this season more. But also, I think they wanted to focus main, like you said, on the main characters when it got down to the nitty gritty. So
Yeah.
in my head, they shouldn't use them at all. Like, why have the whole team in the van for that one shot and them rescuing people? I just don't
Right.
understand that. So that is a big thing. As far as the season goes, I piggyback on what you said. It was an enjoyable season. I liked it more than season 4. I am aggravated. I don't know why. I
Agreed.
don't like how they handled the Black Noir character because he was useless and didn't serve any purpose this season at all.
No.
And for him to go out the way he did against the Deep was funny and just almost ridiculous.
Yep.
Um, Also, Soldier Boy, I know like he's in Vault Rising, so they're going to put a pin in him and make him the star of that show. But the way he kind of like he keeps going back into deep sleep is almost laughable. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
he got choked out. That's how he got put on ice. He got just choked out. Okay,
Yeah.
it's
Yep.
laughable. So if you're gonna use him, I thought he was one of the best parts of the season. And I understand you want to shelve him for the last episode, but kind of can you write a better scene where he goes in deep sleep other than being choked out from behind by Homelander? Like,
You would think that he would, if you told me that there was more of a back end plot to have Soldier Boy and Sister Sage kind of come up with something smart enough to kind of take Homelander at the end in like a weak moment where Butcher and them couldn't pull it off or something, that would make more sense than like last minute we're going to try to have Kimiko be Soldier Boy.
right.
So, because it's like it's a father son thing, it's a legacy thing. There's way more meaning in that. I realize Homelander killed Frenchie, but it felt weird because they didn't have a big relationship
No,
or like an animosity, a direct connection, not like the Butcher thing. So I don't know. It just feel like it was wrong footed in a bunch of different ways.
it was because I would have preferred to see like you just said, have Soldier Boy come up with someone with Sister Sage at the end
Yeah.
to team up with Butcher because at the end, even though Kimiko was Soldier Boy, she's not as strong. She doesn't have the same super set he has. So,
No.
you know, it,
And you needed Butcher to do all these things anyway. Wouldn't it made more sense to have Butcher do it?
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, I don't know. But that being said, the season itself was solid and a step forward from season 4.
Yes.
The end is a little messy. I don't hate it as much as other people hate it. I thought Homelander groveling was hysterical. The whole, yeah, I'll
Yeah.
eat shit and I'll do this and I'll do that and
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
I thought that
While
was,
it's recording and
yeah, I
live
thought that was hysterical.
broadcasting, whatever.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not gonna kill him for the finale. It just was not what we thought. Honestly, I'm glad I didn't see it in the theater. I think I would have been disappointed had I seen the
Oh,
finale
yeah. I forgot that they did that, right?
in the theater. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I generally agree with everything you said. I wonder, I don't think it's probably going to come back when we're doing like a top 5 of the early season kind of a thing, but I'm glad the show exists. I'm interested now in Vought Rising, and we could talk about that now where the trailer for that has been released. This is 1950s New York City. We have Liberty before she was Stormfront. Aya Cash is back reprising that character. I love the look of this show. I love the era that it's taking place in. I think it has the right tone. I just, again, it's just going to gnaw at me until we see proof in it all. Like, is this going to be rendered moot because it's a prequel? Like, it's even worse than the situation with Gen V because you're not going to see it. And are they just going to like add to the lore of stuff we've already seen? I don't know what they want to accomplish with this, but generally speaking, the people who are in it, I like the look of it, the era, all that stuff. I'm in, so I'm gonna watch it, even though I have all these complaints
I
already off the bat.
I do too. And it's funny because obviously this is a show they're going forward with rather than Gen V. So it's like, okay.
Right.
So I like you. I love the era. I'm an Eccles guy. I love the cast.
Yep.
I guess my biggest question is since Soldier Boy technically is on ice again, even as the series wrapped up, they still have him at Vought.
Right.
I just wonder if we're going to see any flash forwards to present day after the show wraps up. Is this going to launch something
Right.
to where Edgar lets them off ice again? Or do we start out in present day Soldier Boy and it flashes back to the 50s and that's where the bulk of the show takes place? I'd be shocked if they didn't blend future present with the past show they're going to do. Or else,
Right.
like you said, why do it then if it's not going to like at least get our hopes up for some future project? Like we got this out of the way. Now you know the basis of this. Let's spring forward with something else,
Yeah. Is it just simply just trying to cash
The
on
boys.
the momentum
Yeah,
of the boys just ending and we want more boys, but we don't have the boys, so here's Boys Light,
right.
you know?
And here's
Is that
Soldier
what's gonna
Boy, a
happen here?
character that everyone likes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It felt like so I know when we looked at this stuff originally, they had mentioned things like, "Oh, this might have the look and feel of an Elmore Leonard novel or like a LA Confidential or any of those things." Did you get that
I
vibe?
did.
I also had kind of the movie Overlord, which I
Oh,
like
I love
quite a
that
bit,
movie. Yeah, yeah,
where I had a little bit of that look to it. It's not exactly the same time period, but it's close and
yeah,
it has that kind of like experimental soldier stuff going on a little bit too. So that's why it made me think of that as well.
yeah. Good pull on the Overlord because that was a good movie. For
Yeah,
those who
I
haven't
like that
seen it,
movie a
yeah.
lot.
So
Yeah,
yeah, I did get the LA Confidential vibes, and if you could blend out with Overlord, man, I'll be happy if this was like a single contained prequel, even though we may not get anything else. I'll take it for what it is and see where it goes.
for sure. Well, Amazon Prime is hoping that we all join on continuing the boys train, but in the meantime, we get a little bit of Marvel esque stuff going on, although it's the Sony version combining with Amazon Prime here to make Spider-Noir, a new show, again, set in where are we? We're like,
30s.
depression, leading to the depression version with Nicolas Cage taking on the role as a private detective who has the Spider Noir powers, but he's put that to the side for now after a tragedy in his own life and is kind of just pursuing the private investigation stuff. But there's this new case, and this mob boss, played by Brendan Gleeson, who apparently has some connections as we're seeing things unfold, where an old army unit in station in France seems to have multiple superheroes kind of like coming out of that platoon, and they're all kind of working for or in the orbit of Brendan Gleeson, and it seems now those things are gonna come together, come at odds, and that's where this season's going to go. They dropped all the episodes all at once, and you and I have caught basically the first couple episodes here. So, what are you thinking so far on Spider
I
Noir?
love it. I love it. I love it. Love it. Love it.
Sure, yeah,
I'm watching it, people. I'm watching in black and white. I'm not watching the color version. Just let you know
I'll. T-
there's two options. Go ahead.
I did see that. I know that there's two options, and I hate to cut you off. I watched the first episode in color, and there was something about like the colors and the matting and the other stuff. I was like, you know what? This probably they probably had this more in mind for black and white. And I'm sure that any of those color issues or matting issues probably look a hell of a lot better in black and white. So I watched the second episode in black and white, way better. So if I'm making a recommendation of one or the other two people, I would say if you could tolerate the black and white, watch the black and white.
Which people,
But yes, sorry, sir.
no, go ahead. You should be able to tolerate the black and white
Oh,
people.
absolutely. I just always have to put that
Yeah, no,
caveat
no, I
because
know
some
because
people
we're
just
in
have an intolerance.
2026. I get it.
Yes. Yeah.
But no, I love, like you said, set in 1930s New York. I love Nicolas Cage's live action performance so far. What we're seeing
Yeah.
from him playing this character who he himself said is having an existential crisis because he doesn't want to don the noir costume again.
Right.
Dealing with these gangsters. I just like the world is setting up. It's almost like it's like We're watching Perry Mason meet Spider-Man. It's cool, man. Like I like it.
Well, you know what it made me think of? Dark Man, because this looks a little bit like if Raimi tried to do the TV thing, because he already did that a little bit with the Spider-Man with the angles and this kind of comic booky stuff. But if you add the tinge of the noir, then you can kind of see and blend that, except you just don't get that certain cinematic look and texture and zooms and whatever that Raimi would do. You're just getting like the broad version of that for this.
Yeah, and it works right now. Like again,
Yeah,
I like the
I'm not
world.
complaining. I'm in.
I like
Yeah,
the
sure.
cast. I like Nicolas Cage's performance so far, which I did hear an interview for him today how he's going into this character. So we'll probably talk about as the show goes on more what he wants to do with this character. when he suggested it to Sam Raimi apparently, and Sam Raimi's like, "No,
Okay.
you can't do this with that character." Because I didn't know it was, like, he originally auditioned for the Green Goblin role in the Spider-Man movie.
Oh, yeah, I think I did know that, yeah.
Yeah, so he's talking about, "Hey, should we do this?" And he's like, "No." So he got to do what he wanted to do with this character. So I'm kinda like,
Right.
wanna see where Cage takes this, Ben character. But, yeah, no, so far, first episodes, man, I'm in. It's like 45-minute runtime. It's kinda perfect. They kinda click by.
Yeah. Mhm.
I do like the black and white, man. I'm not gonna lie. I like the black and white depression era that this is set in, and I'm excited to see
Yeah.
what kind of villains they kinda introduce, which we saw one, and we saw the other one in the second episode, but he hasn't presented any powers yet. So,
Yeah.
yeah, man, I'm curious. I'm really digging the way this show is shot. You can tell the production value is there.
I was about to say the production design when they really go for it
Is there.
is really nice. It
Yeah.
reminds me of like watching a version of, though a little more CGI or whatever green screen version of when I watched Agent Carter,
Yeah.
which is another show that I liked where it was, again, superhero adjacent, having a little more in the soldier and commando stuff mixed in with the detective look, the noir look, but this one is just straight going detective
Yep,
story.
and I like the score. I like the music. You get the jazz when they're in the
Sure.
clubs and everything. So yeah, man. So and like you said, I am shocked they dropped all the episodes because I watched the first one. I'm like, let me just see if they got the second one there. I kept going
Yeah.
down, like, oh shit, they released all 8. Oh boy, I might not sleep
What do
tonight.
you mean? What do you make of that? Do you think they just had no faith?
I don't.
Or is it like Marvel fatigue where we did the Wonder Man thing where they dropped all of them?
Yeah, with Amazon, it is so hard to figure them out because, like you said, they will string the boys out, but they'll drop the
Yep.
first season of Reacher, but then they'll string Reacher out as a weekly show.
Yep.
Sometimes they drop 4 episodes and they won't drop I cannot
Yeah.
figure Amazon out. So to answer your question, I don't know why they dropped all 8.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think it's gonna do well because everyone liked the Spider-Noir character from Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah. It's been a while in between those movies too, because it got delayed and everything else. So
Yeah.
that's really what's piquing my interest
Yeah,
too.
and coming off Memorial Day weekend, being the summertime, maybe they're like, "You know what? Let's see how this does." I guarantee you if they do have a season 2, I bet you dollars of donuts it's gonna be a weekly drop.
Yeah, I'm sure. And I'm sure they would have loved if the Spider-Verse movie didn't get pushed back to make this closer to that. Also, seeing National Treasure come back, I'm sure they wish that was more like summer movie this year, big time thing or whatever too, so they could match it together.
Yep.
So I think that's where they're maybe feeling a little in a weaker position, and that's why maybe you drop it all and just be like, see what you make of
Yeah.
this, and we'll take that information, and then if we want to make more because you guys watched it and supported it, we'll go from there, and then maybe we'll try to get it timed right for Spider-Verse content
Yep.
or National Treasure or something else to where we can put all our stars or the IP in one basket.
Yep. I could see that.
Absolutely. Well, that's great, man. Yeah. So again, we while we started out maybe a little disappointed, there is some hope for the future, and weirdly, that hope is Amazon Prime. So we've
Go
always
figure,
gone
right?
back and forth with that. Yeah, who saw that coming? So enjoy it while it's here, and hopefully we get more out of Spider-Man Noir. We have a lot of stuff coming up in the next week or two, like between all the shows we're watching, the fact that Backrooms is coming out this weekend. So we are going to have another busy week next week. Thank you, Shane, for being here as always. Shane and I are also being busy when we're not giving you excellent content on recent activity. We are both guests on The Pint in different episodes. The Pint, a pop culture podcast, our friends John and Lloyd over there, where I did an episode for Masters of the Universe, the 1987 Dolph Lundgren vehicle, or as I like to call it, the Frank Langella vehicle, because he is the best thing about that movie. And Dolph Lundgren barely does stuff, even though he's He-Man. It's a very weird movie. But it's a movie that was the first movie I've ever seen in theaters as a child. I was 5, and Frank Langella's Skeletor scared the crap out of me. And, it brought back good times. So be sure to look for that episode dropping on that feed. And then Shane, you're recording tomorrow night, so hopefully coming soon as well, because they're having like a whole 80s themed a month, I believe, coming up. So you are going to be a part of that. Also doing a Dolph Lundgren movie.
Yeah, I was about to say another back-to-back Dolph Lundgren. This one's I Come in Peace or Dark Angel, wherever you watch that movie. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It should be a good time.
And that you said you can find on Tubi.
Tubi.
Yeah. So if you want to go old school, check out as John put it, the most 80s 1990 movie that you can find, even though it's technically a 90s movie. It is absolutely a relic of the 80s. So, check that out. And yeah, be sure to like, subscribe, tell a friend. It's been a lot of fun. Be sure to check us out on YouTube, which we've started in the last few months, having a good time there as well. So we will try to be more optimistic as the time goes for more content next week here on Recent Activity.